So I think acting in a Jewish manner in business is acting in having a higher ethic than everybody else in the room. I mean, you really have to think about it. So if you look at Madoff and you look at other Madoff-like characters in the world, who even if you believe in somehow in these people's innocence, have shown zero remorse, have shown zero respect for the people that they hurt, have shown zero desire to make amends, have shown zero desire to help the poor people, the poorest of the poor people who have been hurt. Like, what's it about, right? So even if you assume that together, and people who took millions upon millions upon millions of dollars in fees and clearly lied, I mean, this is what it's about, right? So you got to put yourself above that. So again, when you sit in a room and you're in a deal, or you're discussing a business problem, you have to take the high ground. Always. You have to think about who's in the room. How are you reacting to those people? Are you behaving in the right manner to them? Are you talking with respect? Are you respectful of the deal? Are you respectful of the laws? Are you respectful of all those things? If you don't do that, then quite frankly, I'm not sure what you're doing that's Jewish or why do it. In fact, one of the pieces of advice that I give young people today, I don't wear a kippah to work, although I do outside of work. But in work, I don't wear a kippah. And now the truth is, to be fair, when I started working, it was probably 1976 is when I got my first full-time job. It just wasn't done, right? You didn't see a lot of people, particularly in the advertising. Those of you who watched Mad Men know for sure you didn't see a lot of kippot running around. It wasn't a yarmulke culture. Today, you obviously see a lot more. So a lot of young people come to me and say, should I wear my yarmulke to work or not? Now, what does this have to do with the question? Very simple, because I don't wear it consciously. In other words, it's not that I'm worried to wear it. I don't wear it because I don't think that from a point of view of lashon, of what I say, from how I act always, that I am the right bearer of wearing a kippah. Because if you wear a kippah, your symbology, your iconic status in the room is such that if you uttered a four-letter word, I think you'd be in the wrong place. You shouldn't do it. If you would say anything that's in the least bit inappropriate, it's an insult to the kippah and to who you are. So what I find is I would rather try to elevate, and I just don't feel I'm that good. I'm just not that big a tzaddik that I really can control myself. Those four-letter words find their way out of my mouth probably more than every once in a while. So what I'd rather do is I'd rather be the guy who gets the cottage cheese plate, which is sort of my kippah, if you see what I'm saying. And everybody points at it, and they know, why is David getting the cottage cheese plate? Oh, he's kosher, right? He's Orthodox. Why do we have to have the meeting in the winter over by 2 o'clock? Because David has to go home. But it's not that I do those things, but they don't look at it from like, oh, this guy's some religious fanatic. What I hope is that they look at it and say, I get it because he does behave a little bit better. He does behave a little bit differently. He does approach problems with a slightly different look. And then to me, that shows that we're successful. That becomes a successful Jew.